Welcome to Everything Irie TV UK Drama Special Edition. And this is season 2. And on this podcast, we will be talking to drummers who have made an impact in gospel and secular. My special guest today has played for the likes of Taya Cruz, Fraser T. Smith, Giveon, Dora Jar, Georgia Smith, and he's the current drummer for Jess Glynne. Please put your hands together for Anthony Sweet Stix in the building.
I do, man.
What is happening, my brother?
I'm good. I'm really good.
Man, when I was thinking about who can I get for season 2, I had to get you. You have been doing this for a long time, and I feel, for me personally, I don't feel you get the credit that you deserve.
Oh,
And so today on this podcast, we're showing you some love, and we want to hear your story as well. Because there's some people who've seen you, because you're Mr. Jet 2 Holiday, you know, playing for Jess Glynne. So people have seen you, but they don't know you. So
that's funny. That's actually funny. That's mental.
So today we're gonna hear your story and your journey, man. So I want to kick off with this. Is drums your first instrument, and why the drums? What was it about the drums that you were like, you know what, I don't want to do anything else, I want to play the drums?
Do you know what? Drums wasn't actually my first instrument,
Okay.
which is really mad.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, a lot of people don't actually really know that, but I started off playing guitar. My dad is actually a guitarist, and
That makes
and so I was always playing the guitar, and then my mum took me to church, as you do,
Of course.
and then I saw like a Premier drum kit, and it was like, and it was at a church called Shiloh Dalston, in Dalston, and I was about 5 or 6, and I was like, that's what I'm going to do, and then I just pursued that.
Was there a drummer that you looked up to? Was there any influences that you had when you were growing up?
Yeah, so many. There's too many. There's too many. There's so many from different genres. I always really loved like a lot of the like kind of like more jazz fusion music, like drummers and musicians. I really liked like Vinnie Colaiuta, Dennis Chambers. Dennis Chambers was like my guy. I used to love that energy. Omar Hakim, Steve Gadd. I mean, there really is too many. And then there's like the reggae thing. You had the Carlton Barretts.
Of course, yeah.
You know, and then, I just had loads of different influences.
So what about in terms of like in London, in the UK, was there any like local drummers, maybe
Absolutely.
church uncles that you
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The church
Shout them out.
for me, the church uncle for me was Jerry Brown, because Jerry Brown, the way how he would attack the drums, it made me feel like I was listening to, like, at the time anyway, like an American show. And that's what I really loved. I really loved that kind of like Gerald Haywood kind of sound, you know, Aaron Spears. I enjoyed that too. But like, yeah, Jerry Brown was able to just hit the drums in a certain way at that time for me. And I would say, yeah, definitely. I was at his like master classes at like 12 years old at like, Drum XL, Drum Alive. That was the one.
Drum Alive. I remember that. Yeah.
This podcast is going to take me back into so many different lives.
Yeah, no, of course. Yeah. Because there was a couple of drummers that I had when I was growing up. I think one of them was Charlene, who plays for Cat Burns. Her dad was the main drummer at my church, along with my dad.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I was like, how is this girl playing so good? You know what I mean? Again, at that time, this is like back in the 90s, 2000, it was weird. And I wasn't introduced to Jerry till much later on, until when I started to go to Rurak quite a lot. And then I would see him play and Nicky behind the keyboard, and absolutely mash up convention. I was like,
of course.
This is mad.
Of course.
Yeah, so when you was growing up in church, like, was there a lot of drummers in your church? Like, was there a queue to get onto the drums?
Do you know what's actually really funny? So, the church that I used to go to was Shiloh Dalston, and the main drummer was a drummer called Jonathan Chewett. It was Jonathan Chewett who now plays with like Lola Young, and
yes,
he was doing a whole bunch of stuff at the time of Emily Sunday, I think it was.
Yes, Emily Sunday. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I never really got to play in that church. Yeah,
Wow.
which is so mad, So like I would actually go to church, but I would just be watching everybody else. And I'd just be sitting down watching everyone play.
Okay.
Yeah, it's actually really interesting.
But you did eventually play this.
Sometimes, but it wasn't a lot. It wasn't actually a lot. I have to be honest. It wasn't really a lot. It was more like Jonathan is the drummer. And so that's it. Jonathan's the drummer. So I was like, oh, okay.
Okay. That's crazy, man. That is crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. So I just want to quickly talk about how we first met.
Mm-hmm.
And this speaks to his character, okay? So I think the first time I came across you actually was on Facebook. There was a shed. I think it was you, Andrew McLean, and I cannot remember who else there was. This was a long time ago.
Yeah, that's a long time.
Bro, and when I saw him in the corner, I was like, he can't be a drummer. He looks like a gangster. Might rob me from the screen, bruv. Like, you know what I mean? And then he stopped to the drum. I'm like, oh, bro, yeah, era hat, bro. I'm like, yo, this guy looks scary, bruv.
Like me, that's crazy.
Oh, you look scary. I was like, nah, man. And then, actually, the first time I met you was at the Spanky Shed in South Norwood. Wow. That's the first time I saw you. Wow. And I was like, I know this guy from Facebook, you know what I mean? Crazy. He's the gangster.
Yeah.
But then actually, the first time I think we came across that we actually spoke was, I think it was Troy Bar, if I remember correctly. And I can't lie, so at the time, when I first went to Troy Bar, I must have been around 18, 19. I was definitely in college. And my gosh, at that time, I was so intimidated.
Yeah.
And because obviously I knew of Junior Curtin.
Yeah.
And this is the time he played Amadou, Oscar.
Oscar.
Everyone was there at Troy Bar. And I'm like, if you mess up, ain't no one giving you no gigs. So I'm like, that's how I felt. So I'm like, I'd rather not play. Because Junior's like, yeah, come and play. My God. I was like, you want me to play? And all of these guys.
These people in the room and all that.
Nope. I'm not in it. I'm not in it. And then so eventually I was like, okay, you know what? Let me just jump on, let me play. And then you gave me some words of encouragement. It's like, no, bro, you sounded good, man. You sounded good.
I love that.
Bro, and I never forgot about that. I never forgot about that. And so thank you for that, because that brings my comedy, because when I say I was petrified, because for me, when it came to playing actual music, I wasn't too great at that because I was more of a shedder. Now, if you said, okay, Troy Bar's turning into a shed right about now, I'll be the first one there. I'm like, okay, let's shed. I was a proper shedder. But when it came to playing music, And
I hear that.
I obviously was seeing Junior Curtin, and he played every song to the detail, and I was like, I don't know how to do that. You know what I mean? Because my jobs was just bare fast, and you know what I mean? It went to the music. As you can see, I've got this lovely t-shirt here, as well as others. Tracksuit, jumpers, t-shirts, you name it. If you want to get yours, just go to www.thingsimagedesigns.co.uk. And if you want a discount, just type Everything Irie for a discount. Walk in love, walk in grace, walk in fashion. Peace. So one of the things that I've noticed about you're playing very, very musical. So my question is, how did you develop your musicality around the drums?
Around the drums, it's funny because I've always been a fan of music first, then drums after that, if that makes sense.
That makes a lot of sense.
So, you know, like my dad was a guitarist, and my dad was playing a lot of funk and a lot of that kind of like rare groove thing in the house. And then my mum would be playing a lot of gospel, a lot of reggae, a lot of that kind of thing. And then I'd go to like jazz classes as well from really young, so like about 15 years old. And then I got really into drummers. I really got into like Elvin Jones and really, you know, and like your Art Blakey's.
What age? How old were you?
I was about 15, 16.
Oh,
you know,
you started early.
I was really, I remember like, it's funny, me and Dexter talk about this a lot. Like I could see like everyone, not everyone, but like a lot of people at that time in that age group, they were really gravitating towards like the Gerald Haywoods and like the Aaron Spears. And I love that stuff. I love that. I love, you know, like John P. Key. I'd be listening to John P. Key and all that kind of energy, and Calvin Rogers and stuff. But I always really, I also really liked the like Elvin Jones and like the really tender approach as well. I mean, there's so many jazz drummers that I loved. I mean, I can't even think. And then there was like, you know, I enjoyed the Tony Roysters and that kind of like, there was like that Prodigy thing with Ronald
Yeah,
Bruner.
of course.
Ronald Bruner, I used to love him. He was like a massive thing for me at the time anyway. Yeah, I would say just listening to loads of stuff. My brother was playing like a lot of hip hop and drum and bass and a lot of jungle and UK garage. And I also think that that's a really good thing as well. Like being from the UK, it's like
So you're surrounded with a lot of
surrounded
music
with a
and culture.
lot of culture and a lot of music, whereas I feel like other places are quite in their own insular
Yeah.
space. But I would say if there is a reason why people think that I play in a really musical way, I would say it's because of that. I'd say it's because of that for sure.
And the reason why I say that, and again, this is credit and just showing some love, is that you don't play like anyone. Because you know there's some because there's some drummers you like.
Oh, you're gassing me up, you know. You're gassing me. You're gassing me, man. You're gassing me, bro.
You know there's some drummers in here they're sick. But it's like, okay, you're heavily influenced by this or this person. You're heavily influenced by this. I can't say you sound like anyone. I can't say your reference is this person. Your reference is.
I actually love that. I'm not gonna lie. I really love that. Like I'd rather that.
Yeah. So was that on purpose? Like in terms of getting your own sound?
I don't think I have a sound, if I'm to be honest. I can't hear it. It's weird. I can't hear it.
You can't hear it?
Nah. It's funny. A lot of people say that, but I actually can't. I genuinely.
But I can't say you sound like anyone. You have your own sound. So that's why I was asking about your musical background. Because I can tell that, okay, you've listened to a lot of different styles of music. It's like you've just fused it into your playing and you've just got something that is just absolutely unique. You don't sound like anyone.
Thanks, man.
And the thing is, I do encourage.
I'm gonna leave with this massive head.
No,
I'm gonna be walking out like.
No, but I'm gonna be. No, I'm serious though, because the thing is, like, it's so important that you do have your own sound. Like, I feel like it's only thing recently that I feel like, okay, I've got my sound. Because the ages is like, okay, there was one point in my life where I was very influenced like by Chris Dave. There was a season where I was very influenced.
Dave, of course. Yeah,
you know what I mean? But like,
you sorry, David.
It was mad. But it feels like now I'm starting to get my own sound. It was only up in this place of the song I was playing, and the keyboard player comes in my track goes, I knew that was you playing. I'm like, goes, yeah, you got your sound. I'm like, oh my god!
Yeah.
Bro, that meant the world to me. I was like, bro,
you definitely have your thing going on. It's funny. Someone contacted me the other day, and I put you forward for a gig because I knew that sound would actually work for that situation.
Yeah,
for sure.
Oh, much love. So it's always important to have your own sound, and I just feel like you have something that's unique, and it's not celebrated enough. So we're celebrating you today, my brother. No, it's good.
Yeah, this is feeling like drink champs, you know. I'm like, hey.
No,
this is feeling like, we're celebrating you before you're dead.
Celebrating. No, we have to. This is what this podcast is about.
I love that. I love that.
How are you
before you're dead, you know?
Yeah, bro, we're going to do it. We're going to do it. So I want to ask a question. Now, you came up in the time.
Sorry.
It's all good, bro. We're here, bro.
Jokes.
You came up in a time where social media wasn't that big yet. So definitely. When you got the call for your first big gig, what was that feeling like? Describe the feeling.
The feeling, ooh.
What was your reaction? And
that first? I mean,
who was it with?
Do you know what? I think it depends on what you think of as a big gig. Like, I would say, my feeling. Do you know what? I would say the real first big gig with an artist that was kind of like had a lot of weight, because I used to work with a lot of like the UK rappers and stuff like that back in the day. So like I've done gigs with like people like Kalashnikov. Now a lot of people may not necessarily know that artist, but he was quite like a big UK rapper, and like the grime guys like Bruiser.
Oh, and like, yeah, Bruiser get me, yeah, man.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Like there's like live lounges, well, not live lounges, but like live TV things on like, there used to be a channel called Channel U.
Channel U, that was
right. You remember that? Do you remember Channel U?
I remember Channel U.
It's crazy. This
I wanted to go with Channel U, bro.
It's real throwbacks, but like,
bro.
I can't remember. What was the question again? Sorry, I'm so bad.
Feeling like when you got your first gig. Like, who was your first gig with?
Who was my first? My first real gig was with, I would say, Tile Cruz, and that actually came by my good friend Pete Ray Biggins, and he is definitely the reason that allowed me to that was the foot in the door. That was the first kind of thing that was like of some kind of weight. You're playing with an ice on a major label. You're having like, top threes. Back then it actually mattered. That were like it was a thing that people could use and say like, okay, this is credible. You're in the top three. You're playing for like an artist. That's in top five. That kind of thing basically. Sorry, let me just fix this mic. Make sure. Yeah, Tile Cruz. Thanks to Pete Ray Biggin, he was busy. He was going to tour with Mark Ronson. I remember this. And he couldn't do a gig. And he met me because I used to play every Tuesday and Friday at the venue Troy Bar.
Okay.
And he heard me because he was friends with a bass player called Vic James. And Vic James was like, yo, you going to meet this young guy, blah, 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 blah. And then he was going to tour Mark. And then he was also playing with Tile Cruz. And yeah, he was just like, I think you should do a gig. I literally had no rehearsal.
No rehearsal.
No rehearsal.
Was this at his peak or just before?
No, I would say this is before. The real peak was Dynamite.
That's it.
That was the peak. But I'm talking about the Come On Girl era and like a star where in the UK he's still
still R&B because then
he went straight pop. Which I love as well. I love that sound. I love the Benny Blanco, Dr. Luke thing, Katy Perry energy. He definitely went down that space.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was my first. I would say like that was my first big gig.
Hold on, you said you had no rehearsals.
No rehearsals.
Explain.
We had no rehearsal. I literally went to a gig. Was backstage, saw the gig. They sent me a recording, and then literally the next gig. So I went. Was it Manchester or was it Hammersmith? I think it was Hammersmith Apollo. Backstage, was just watching the gig, and then literally next gig, I'm on the gig, and that was it. Like literally, and then it was like, oh, you're the drummer. It was so mad. It was so mad. And then what was even more mad, right, was basically doing a gig of that size, and then actually just going back home to your mum. Like that was what was mad. It was like you're doing something like that, and then you're just going back to your parents' house afterwards. So,
was you nervous or did you feel at that time, you know what? I've sharpened my skills at like Troy Bar and all these other jams.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm ready.
I felt like I was ready, personally. I did. Yeah. I did. I thought I was like, I think I'm ready for this now. Because when I was younger, I used to play a lot of I was doing, I wasn't saying more shedding, but I would play a lot. I was like a busy player. Maybe I'm still a busy player now. I don't know, but like I would say, when that gig opportunity came, I felt like I was ready to just be like happy to play the parts or play what they wanted me to play anyway. I wasn't necessarily trying to bring my ego and showcase what I can do. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
If that made sense.
Yeah, no, absolutely makes
I think that makes sense.
Yeah. So, because I was gonna say, what was so when you eventually had rehearsals?
Yeah.
Like, what was that like for you?
What was that? What was that like? I mean, if I'm to be honest, it was just all really a big vibe.
So it was chilled then.
It was chilled, yeah. It was just really a big vibe. I think nowadays it's definitely a lot more surgical in terms of like rehearsals and scheduling and like playing with backing tracks and making sure that your sounds are on point and making sure that your acoustic drums are blending. I'm going to be totally honest. I think when I was like 16, 17, in the UK anyway, we weren't really there. I don't think we were really there. Sometimes I'll go back and listen to some gigs. I'm like, whoo, this is sounding rough, but it will have like all the energy. It'll have all the energy, but like, and that's the thing as well. Like, yeah, you have like everyone starts from somewhere.
Of course,
of course, yeah. And the journey is so long. It's like sometimes you'll be really peaking, and sometimes you'll be really like, you could have like a dry period, and but that's just like any business. Yeah. Which is. And I think it takes time to learn that as you get older as well. It's okay. You get more comfortable with, I like to say, it's like going on sale.
Yes.
It's like Nike. You can go to a shop and Nike will go on sale, but it's like, it doesn't necessarily lose its brand, representation. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's still Nike.
Still not.
But like, Nike is just on sale. This particular model of the shoe is on sale right now. So like, I think of it like that.
Was it from that gig where you were like, you know what? I think I can actually do this full time. I don't have to work in Tesco or Sainsbury's, no dig. And you were like, you know what? I can actually make a living doing this music thing. Was it from that gig?
It was actually from that gig. And I remember I'm not going to say how much I was making, but I remember doing the gig and coming back home to my parents' house with the money, like with, getting paid and, you're learning about invoicing and stuff. And I was like, am I making as much money as my parents? Like, I remember that.
How old were you?
I think I was about 17 or 18.
You were 17,
18? Yeah. And yeah, about 17, I think, if I remember. Yeah.
And what did you spend it on when you saw that?
That was funny when
what did you spend it on?
Oh, that youthful energy was what's that? Do you know what? I'm gonna be honest. I actually used to love going out, and I did. I would actually spend it. I just spend it in the club. I'm gonna be honest.
Wow,
I really did.
You didn't get no drum gear, no Jordans.
Do you know what? The drum gear, all that stuff actually just came because I used to be endorsed by a different brand that I'm not endorsed with now. I'm endorsed with DW, but I was endorsed with a different brand then, and so they would just kind of give me drums right from the get go, and I think it was because of Pete Ray Biggins having that connection. So I wasn't really buying gear.
You didn't need to.
Not really, no.
Because at that time, like early 2000s, Tire Cruise was absolutely massive. So it would have been a bit stupid if they know that, okay, hold on, this guy is with us and we don't give him no drums. It would have been
it was a fun time.
Massive.
A really big learning curve for me as well. It was definitely the first time understanding, like, oh, okay, it was like the first artist that was on like a major label, and I was like, oh, you're learning about invoicing and then understanding, like, okay, so this is how you invoice. This is how long you have to wait. This is,
What stuff did you know from the early years where he's like, okay, I can't do that now, or you know what, this is something that I learned that's very key to my career, and you've just always just run with it. You know what I mean?
Something that do you know what I think? That's a really tough question,
Yeah.
That's
because obviously there's some things that in your early career where you've learned where you're like, okay, I shouldn't do that. So you know what? Cool. You know what I mean? There's some things where it's just like, okay, I need to make sure I always remember that because that's going to help me for the rest of my career.
Yep. And you know what? And I remember I was working with a German artist called Patrice Bart Williams. And he was like a kind of like reggae, soul, hip hop kind of artist from Germany. And we did a show in Berlin. And I remember going back to the hotel and I had gone out the night before. And so I basically missed my flight. I missed the flight going back home. And I got a phone call from the other band members when they were actually at home. So they've already gone back to Heathrow and they've gone home. They've called me. I'm still in the hotel. And I'm like, what's going on? And basically I'd went out. And so I had to pay for my own flight to go back home because obviously I missed my flight. And that moment I remember going, I'm never going to do that again. I'm never going to miss a flight, bus call. I'm never going to do that. And I think being really that it just made me super punctual because I just really learned early, like if you do something like that, you will feel the consequence. And I was like, I need my money. I was like,
So did no one knock on your door or call you?
No, they did, but I was completely out. Yeah, and I learned, and I was so young, but like I really learned. Like you can't do that. Don't carry that. Don't bring that energy. Be on time. Be responsible. Take care of yourself. Take care of your body. Take care of your mental. That that is key for me.
The side that people don't talk about,
Absolutely.
The glam, it's the symbols.
Yep.
There's another part that people don't see. So what's another side that people don't see?
I would say people don't see the people don't. It's really that excitement that people see is it can go on for a long time, and they don't realize that sometimes you don't really get that downtime. And sometimes you kind of need that decompression,
Yeah.
if that makes sense, because you're just constantly up. You're constantly up, and it's not actually natural. It's just not natural to be that up all the time, and so, yeah, sometimes the side effects can be a bit, it can be, you can get a bit antsy and a bit like fidgety and stuff. It's on edge, essentially, or constantly feeling like you need that up when you come back from like a tour, for example. You come back home and you're kind of like living a kind of like, I don't want to say necessarily like a normal life. Everyone's life is different, but it's just getting back into that, oh, okay, I'm going to go and do my shopping now. This is the time I need to do that. And it's allocating yourself, when you're on tour, the tour manager and the tour itself is taking care of all of that stuff.
Everything.
So it really is like being a big kid. It's like being a big kid, and yeah, knowing how to snap in and out, I would say, of that is key, and something that people don't really understand until you get there. I've seen so many people like come into the that kind of world of like being a musician for different artists and artists within their own rights, and they don't understand how to last. I say, it really is a game of longevity. I'm just grateful that I'm still here working. Going to Netherlands on the weekend.
Yeah.
With the band I'm in with Fraser T. Smith and Molly J. It's like a trio kind of set up. I'm just grateful that I'm still here. Had a really amazing summer with Jess Glynne recently. I'm really excited. I'm excited that I'm just like, wow, I'm still working. I'm still, people still want to work and engage,
Yeah. So talking about Jess Glynne, how did that come about, man?
The Jess Glynne. Well, I tell you, I love that girl. The gig actually came about because the musical director Kojo Samuels basically just said to me, "There's this girl called Jess Glynne. There's auditions, blah 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 blah." And at this point, I had already kind of done a few bits and bobs, and I would say now, looking back, I was maybe a little bit like arrogant in the sense of being like, "Oh, I don't need to go to the rehearsal. I mean, the audition." I don't. It wasn't. I don't. Was he there?
I was there, bro.
That's so mad. Well, I don't have to go to the audition. Kojo, I can, I can do gigs, blah blah blah. It's like, just come down, blah blah blah. The funny thing with Jess is that I've actually known Jess since she was about 11.
Wow.
Which a lot of people don't really know, because we actually used to go to the same secondary school. So
that's crazy.
I have actually known and seen Jess in music rooms from when I was about 12.
What, in the same year?
She was the year below me. So I've actually just seen her, and I was always in the music room. I went to an amazing school, and I loved the school that I went to. It was fantastic for music. So many creatives have come from that school, artists as well, and just, whirlwind of talent, like amazing. But I've known her since then, and I've actually known her own life working through the music business in different avenues before actually pursuing to be an artist. And it's actually interesting because it was quite evidential for me to realize how important it is to know that stuff, like to know stuff outside of the actual just creating and playing and that kind of thing. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of how the gig came about. Like, went to the audition. There was a few drummers there. I'm not going to name anyone.
Yeah.
Jess saw me, obviously, and she was like, "Oh my gosh." She used to come to these, I used to be in a band, like an indie band for a period of time. And she used to come to those shows too. And then that band broke up. And so I was like free, for work and whatever. And then literally went to the audition, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, Anthony." She didn't know I was actually coming. So we literally stopped the audition. I didn't, she did. And then we went and got an orange juice around the corner. The auditions was at in King's Cross, in the Joint. Yep. You remember? You were there. I was there. You was there. And it stopped. We went and got orange juice, had a chat, came back, played, and then I think Jess was just like, "Yeah, I want Sweet Six to do the gig." I think that's just literally how it went down. Yeah.
Wow. So my question is then, is when Kojo mentioned Jess Glynne, did you know it was the same?
My brain was like, Jess. I'm like, is it this Jess
Is it
Glynne?
the same?
Because, but I'm like, I only know
quite
one.
unique.
Yeah, I'm like, I only know one Jess Glynne. Do you know what I mean? So I was like,
But you didn't clock that. Hold on, this could be the same.
I was like, is it?
Went to school with?
Yeah, I was like, and then I figured out, and then I was like, oh, okay. So now Jess had gone and pursued an artistic career, and I was like, oh, okay. So you're now doing your thing, and you know, the wheels are turning. It's basically, the clogs are moving, and then yeah, I knew, but they didn't know. Kojo didn't know that I actually knew, like I knew her.
Oh,
yeah, yeah.
Because in the earlier shows that I watched,
Mm.
it was very electronic. It was electronic heavy.
It was electronics central.
Yeah.
It was just literally electronics. There was no real acoustic vibes. Maybe like a kick on a couple of songs, and that was really unnatural to me.
I was
Really unnatural.
Okay, yeah.
It was so unnatural because I was like, I'm coming from this background of like, I need to feel the skin. I need to feel, and I like dynamics.
Because obviously you're coming from a time where there weren't that much electronics.
Exactly.
Now when I'm thinking like
exactly,
I was just boom,
you just boom bapping, yeah, like
so then going into something like Jess Glynne, was it like a mad change for you?
Absolutely, it was a mad change, and I remember in the rehearsals being like, "What is going on?" This is what I'm saying to myself. I'm like, "What is this? Like, I don't understand. Like, what? I just want to hit the snare. I just want to hit the, tom. I just want to. What's going on? Why am I playing these? What's a KT10? I don't understand. Why am I playing these Roland products? But yeah, after a while, I built a relationship with the electronics, and found a way to incorporate what I do with that and mix it with the acoustic.
Yeah, I'm starting to hear more acoustic stuff now when I hear this.
Definitely. I mean, now it's, there's been a few changes of the band, and me and the keyboard player have been, consistent. But basically, yeah, it's definitely a different vibe now for sure. Without and it's interesting because mentally, I have to adapt the same song that I've played so many times with different musicians. So I'm like, oh, okay, now I need to readjust here.
Okay.
With that,
everyone brings a different
thing,
yeah, of course.
But yeah, it's great fun. It's great fun.
I've got a question that people might be curious to know. All right. Since the Jet to Holiday song has gone viral again, have you seen any changes in the show? Like when that song comes on, does the crowd go even more wilder now than ever before?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's like it's preempted. Everyone knows it's coming, and it's. But to be honest, the real funny thing about that whole thing, like you had, obviously so many people have posted it. But what's interesting is, I like being in the studio as well as being in the live world. So I've actually played drums on that song. So I've actually, so I made all the drum parts. It's like a tribal theme that kind of runs throughout. So that's basically me. So what's interesting is seeing the birthing of the song and the journey of like the production, and then having the, the musicians play, and then I'm like, wow, you just had Trump posting that. That's crazy. But you know what I mean? I was like,
mad.
That to me is wild, because I'm thinking to myself that, it really is the ideas that you have in your mind that can travel. I know it's a bit mad. I don't want to get all spooky, but like, it's crazy.
Can I get that big though?
Not at all. And it's like the song was made 10 years ago. It's crazy.
10 years ago?
10 years ago. 10 years ago. It's so mad. I remember it so clearly. Yeah.
I think it was like 5 or 6 years.
Time, yeah, it's a decade. It's mental. Yeah.
It's been around that long?
Yeah.
Do you prefer playing in the studio or playing live?
Do you know what? I am a very sometime-ish person in general. Sometimes I love live. If I do too much live, I'm like, oh, I need to get back into that studio zone, that space. And I think that kind of the way how I move it is actually because I just grew up listening to so much different music. So I'm like, I get bored very quickly. That's one thing I know. Very quickly. And, me getting older and being a professional musician, one of the battles is actually learning how to control that and being disciplined and content at doing the same thing over and over again. I would say that's actually more of I don't want to say battle, but more of the challenges that come for me now.
Okay.
Have
there been any other records that you've recorded?
Yeah. There's been. I've recorded on a couple of other songs with Jess. I'll Be There. I've recorded with an artist. Oh, Patrice Bart Williams,
yes.
Back in the day. An artist called Stella Sue from Belgium. That went like multi-platinum, which was wicked at the time. I've recorded with Fraser T. Smith, who obviously did, he's made so many records, from
many songs.
Stormzy and, and even that situation. So like, sometimes you record in the studio and then, when you're in the band, you're actually playing it live. It's like, I enjoy going back and forth. I don't really like being one guy. I don't really feel good at being boxed in. I don't. That's not really me.
Yeah. No, I hear it. Because I think I was in a space where I was doing a lot of live stuff. I was like, you know what? It'd be good to do some more recordings. So like, if I go away or something, you know what I mean? At least it's there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
My sound is there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
And so been fortunate to do a couple of records and stuff. And I think it's a different discipline.
Absolutely.
And obviously, I like a little challenge sometimes. You know what I mean? Because obviously, in my early years, oh hell no, I would be kicked out. I remember being at Drum Tech, and we had to go
Drum
to.
Tech?
Yeah, I know.
Drum Tech, I remember that place.
I remember being in a studio. They took us to a special studio.
Yeah.
That's a little trip, and I was there in the studio. Can't remember what studio it was. It was in West London. Beautiful studio. And I was just in there. I had no idea people that they were recording. And I'm just there going around a drum kit, and the guy goes to me, "What on earth was that?" I was just chopping. But I was like, I didn't know it was actually. I was just playing around. But they're not used to that. Used to just hearing people just playing. So when I'm chopping now, they're like,
"What is this? What are you doing?"
Like, oh, okay. You know what I mean? Okay, it's a different discipline. Playing in the studio and playing live, you know what I mean?
I think so.
Yeah.
Do you know what's interesting? I actually would like to talk about that. The drummers that I liked, and when I was younger, the ones that I was looking at, like your Steve Gadds and those guys, they never really. This thing of like having studio drummers and having like live drummers, I found like back then you could have a lot. It was like something that you just did. So like Jeff Porcaro would be playing live, but he'd also be a studio guy. Same as Steve Gadd. Obviously you have like J.R. Robinson and stuff, which is like doing more studio work, but you'd still play live. Shaka Khan, Rufus. I'm like, but now it's like you've got these separations. I feel like social media is allowing more specialization. Exactly.
Yeah. At that time, obviously, Logic and Ableton and stuff.
Yeah.
Really around them times. So a lot of music at that time was live. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I guess that's probably why they had to do both.
You do both, and I feel like now I can definitely feel with musicians now. I can feel like the lack of that experience of recording all the time.
Yeah.
But I think that's just got to do with the business, and like there isn't really that many studios, budgets and stuff, stuff of that nature.
Budget has, yeah.
So it is changed the way how people actually play, I find,
Yeah. That's true. Now, I've got a question for you. Has there been a gig where you felt under pressure, and how did you overcome it?
Yep. the gig that I felt pressure on was the artist Givian, because it was the first time that I was playing with an American artist that has a certain type of bodaciousness to the nature of the show. And I had been playing a lot of Jess Glynne shows, which is kind of predominantly like a pop gig, if that made sense. And so I remember feeling that I was like, okay, I've got to dig in, you know, and make sure that, you know, because the band was actually like a half UK band, half US band. And it was interesting to...
Very interesting dynamic.
It's an interesting dynamic because I think there is a difference in the way how different regions approach different shows and different artists as well and stuff. So yeah, I remember the way how I overcame it, right? Because we only had about 2 rehearsals, and the way how I overcame it was actually like listening and getting into that vibe, listening to bigger kind of drummers, Gerald. I still love Gerald Hayward, you know, I still love that thing. You know, it's just like massive meat and potatoes.
Oh, of course.
You know, I just practicing. I was just practicing. Literally, I remember I was in my flat at the time, had some towels, and I was just practicing on like a little drum pad. I actually remember.
Yeah, the show went well.
Yeah.
Smashed it.
Oh man, it was great. It was. I loved it. It was amazing. We did like a UK and like European tour, which was amazing. But we did BBC Radio 1. What's the festival? Not the Wireless. Sorry, my bad.
Wireless.
It was Wireless.
Yes.
And that was nice. It was nice because I think for me at that time, a lot of people they hadn't seen me play that type of way for a long time. So it was like,
like a lot of chops and
it
stuff.
was, just a more busier type of approach, you know, as opposed to just like trying to play parts and like in a more like electronic fashion. It was nice. Yeah, I enjoyed it. That was definitely one of my favorite things I've personally done.
Was he a musician himself? Is that why?
Definitely musical, for sure. I would say absolutely, you know, very musical.
So he knew kind of what he wanted.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. I remember that for sure.
Yeah, because there's some artists that I found there's some artists that they don't really know what they want. It's just, you guys just play, you know what I mean? And there's some there's some that care about the detail, and there's some just play, man. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Just want their money and just go.
Want their money and just go, you know?
You get
No, that's true.
It's like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, so he did a very attention to the detail.
Yeah, he cared more about the feeling of it.
The feel, yeah.
It was the feeling. Like, does this feel right? You know, I think there's a lot of things is interesting because I didn't grow up with social media where it's like you put up, and I still struggle today with like actually keeping up with that type of thing, you know, but I do feel like there's a difference of like sound. I don't know, there's a difference of sound on like playing. There's like that feeling sometimes when you just play by yourself to a screen or to a camera, when you then start playing with other musicians, sometimes it feels a bit disconnected to me.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I mean, it's interesting, but yeah, I mean, yeah. I don't want to come across like a social media bash. Bad, you know, it's bad. It's not that, but there's definitely. I would say there's definitely like a difference.
It's good and bad.
Yeah, and I feel like the feeling is what he was after.
Of course.
You know, and I think some artists are after the feeling. Some artists are after just the hype of it, or the you know.
Yeah, yeah. Every artist is different in everything, and that's what makes music so beautiful. It's just it's not all the same. You know what I mean? So you've done a lot of gigs, you've done a lot of shows, you've played with a lot of artists. What gig has stood out the most for you? Was there a gig where it's like this was the best gig ever? Like I'll never forget.
The best. I mean, it depends. Like for actual shows, it was really cool. Playing like Wembley Stadium. It was like 4 nights in a row.
That with Jess?
That was with Jess, supporting Spice Girls on their reunion.
Oh, you done that? Oh,
yeah.
Snap.
That was amazing. That was it was the energy, getting, Wembley Stadium 4 times in a row. And then I think we're doing like Capital Summertime Ball and those types of things. And it was just like Wembley Stadium itself was feeling like I'm just playing in a bedroom. It was weird, because because you get so used to it. That feeling that was those are my favorite. I would say that's biggest.
For sure. Achievement and stuff for you.
I would, maybe, I would say. Yeah. I mean, I was playing with an artist called Dora Jar for a while, and we were supporting Billie Eilish in Australia and New Zealand.
Okay.
And that was another one. That was I like big shows, just bigness,
Yeah. Do you feel nervous when you have to do it like now, or?
No, I don't. And that's the truth. I don't feel nervous, but
more excited.
It's more excited, but I like the nerves. I want nerves. I want it because it actually puts you in, like, so like if we're doing like a live TV, I enjoy that because it's like now your body just starts zoning in to that click, and do you know what I mean? The pressure. That's what I'm after. I want more pressure,
Wow.
It's mad, but
you're different.
You want more of it because it's actually the thing that keeps you. It makes you feel alive.
That's true.
Probably a bit of a weird way to look at it, but
music. You know what I mean? Everyone's different. So I've got a question for you as we're wrapping up. What's next for you? Because I'm not sure if you want to talk about it, but I know you've done a lot of stuff. You've done music management.
I've done a few different bits over the years.
Do you talk about that, man? What other stuff have you done outside of drums? Outside of drums,
I've done a lot of A&Ring. I've done like artist development. I've done artist management. I really enjoy, helping people and seeing people grow as well as just like myself. It's not like, as I'm getting older, I'm learning to be a bit more like, oh yeah, no, I've done this and I've done that. But really what I really like is actually seeing other people win and grow and giving something, I'm definitely more of a, I'm not going to say that actually. That sounded mental.
Pause.
I was about to say, I sound more like a giver than a receiver. That's mental, mate. That's crazy.
Pause. But we know.
But actually now, me and my partner, we have a creative agency.
Yeah.
Called Soft Milk London, and we work with different brands. Here's one.
Jeez.
There's one there.
Yeah.
We basically recently just basically built like a photography studio in a creative space. And it's definitely more on the artistic side. We do creative strategy. For me, I think creativity is boundless. I think people should be able to be themselves and be whoever they want to be whenever, at whatever given time. I don't think anyone is boxed in, and I think anyone shouldn't. If anyone's making you feel that way, try and stay away from them.
Yeah.
Stay open. I think it's creativity. Be open-minded. I did a session with Jess Glynne on guitar for like a video. Do you know what I mean? Like a couple years back, it was like acoustic, and people were like, what's going on there? And I'm like, I just like music. I
remember there was a phase you playing guitar a lot. I was
playing a lot of guitar.
A lot of guitar.
I remember, but it's funny because like I remember I went through a phase of like posting like stuff on Instagram.
Yeah, take it down, man.
Do you know? Because it's because I,
it was good.
I appreciate that, Alex. I just think, it was more of like a social experiment. I wanted to see if I stop doing something or stop posting something online, do people actually believe that like I've stopped doing it? If that makes it's so weird, right? Basically, because I think a lot of people, I think we're living in a time where it's like, if it's not on Instagram, then it didn't actually happen. Does that make sense?
It's making sense.
It's going to turn into like some philosophical podcast.
No, go on.
This is this is not that, but like that's just where I'm at in my own personal life anyway. Just be yourself. Just be yourself.
No, I hear it. So, right, we're going to a special segment of the show. It's called the Irie segment, okay? So I want you to name me 5 CDs or DVDs that has greatly impacted your life and why.
5 CDs and 5.
No, so 5 CDs or DVDs
Oh, we got to do this.
that has greatly impacted your life.
can't even-
Why?
It's mad. I could say, okay, if we're going to say specifically drums, Jill Scott Live, Eric Tribbett. Ooh,
Yep.
a lot of people forget, you know.
You know what? Someone
That-
mentioned that on your podcast in season 1. Someone actually
Oh, really?
said that as well. Someone else, can't remember who said it, but someone said that DVD. Yeah, 100%.
That was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Okay, that's an album. DVD. Jules Holland, Hip Hop Soul DVD.
That's got the various artists on there.
It's got the various artists.
Yeah, I've got that.
What was actually really mad is that I used to watch it back in the day, and Fraser T. Smith used to play guitar for Craig David. And I remember watching that when I was a kid. And now I'm actually in a band. And that's why I realized sometimes life is just crazy and it works in
Full circle.
full circle mysterious ways. But that DVD, it wasn't really. Can we add YouTube videos? Or does it have to be? Can we? Okay.
That was mainly obviously your current
Bishop D. Larry Trotters, Tell the Devil I'm Back.
Yeah,
I'll go down that road.
Yeah.
Let's go. Okay, let's just get a little bit secular. Do you know what? Katy Perry.
Well, a CD.
Yep. I'm gonna say it.
Very interesting. Are you very musical? Like you don't know what's gonna.
I'm gonna say Katy Perry.
You know what
I'm gonna say Katy Perry.
Wow.
I really loved it. I really loved the female artists at that time. I like Katy Perry, Lady Gaga, all of that energy. I enjoyed the production, and I really enjoyed watching the live shows and then the transformation. Katy Perry. It's too many. Okay.
One more. Got one more.
One more. Ooh. That changed my life. Do you know what? It was Bob Marley. It was a bunch of Bob Marley rehearsals. No, do you know what? No, I got a story.
Go.
I know we got to wrap up, but
No, go ahead.
I got a story. One CD, and it was a compilation CD that was given to me by a manager that I actually don't really talk to anymore. But I give him this. He gave me a CD, and it had a whole bunch of stuff on there from the Beatles, the Beach Boys. I had a bunch of, Carole King, Carpenters. It had so much music that that wasn't really being played to me in my house when I was living with my parents as a teenager. But that CD really shifted my perception on how music needs to feel, how it needs to flow. Beach Boys, Pet Sounds. That some of the best vocal arrangements I've ever heard in my life.
Wow.
Easily. But so I'm trying to be like as
Broad.
I would say I'm quite a broad person, so it's really hard to narrow me down.
That's what makes your sound very unique.
Yes.
I wouldn't expect you. No, actually, for you, I would expect that. But from other drummers,
Yeah.
I wouldn't expect that. Beach Boys.
I know, and Beach Boys, and I don't know, like the Beatles, like Ringo and like Strawberry Fields. It's like an edit. I'm actually gonna say there's an edit, right, where it's got like a drum break for about like I think it's like 7 or 8 minutes or something, and it's just Ringo, but it's like got all these delays and stuff happening at the same time. And if you listen to that, it actually just sounds like a bit of like a hip hop loop.
I'm not even gonna lie, yeah, and I'm not sure how true this is, but I heard that Ringo didn't actually do a lot of recordings.
Do you know what? People say that. People say that, but I'm just saying based on what I've seen.
Yeah.
I love the way how Ringo plays. People have said, I really do. I was like, I like the way he plays. I think he's got a massive backbeat. And I think if it wasn't Ringo, I feel like Ringo did bring
For the live shows, yeah.
For the live shows. But people say what they say about the studio thing. I'm just saying, when I've seen him in the studio on some of the videos, I'm like, this sounds sick to me. It sounds like it is what it is. That's what I enjoy about it.
Because you're not seeing like the chops and the fancy stuff. You're just out there like, this guy's got a good backbeat. That's what I like.
Yeah, and that wonkiness is a sound in itself.
I love your thinking.
It's a sound in itself. Trust me. There's a lot of guys that can do that. It's not even about playing a lot or playing a certain style, but then you actually say, okay, it's easy to play this. Go play like Let It Be. Go play these songs. Go play some of these Beatles songs. Actually play them. And what you realize is you can't play them.
You know what? I'm gonna be very honest, yeah. I can't believe I'm actually saying this, yeah. But now you said it, I'm gonna say it. Bro, you know what song I love playing when I do functions?
Yeah.
Son of a Preacher Man.
Son of a Preacher Man.
Bro, I love playing that. Bro, I love the feel of it.
Yeah, of course.
But I said, I've never told anyone this. I just kept this to myself. I was like,
man.
When the song comes out, I cannot wait to groove the heck out of this. But I love the groove,
Hey.
But, you know what I mean? So when you're saying that Beach Boys and Beatles and that, it's like, okay, I can say this, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. It's
Just
like,
feel.
be you. I'm telling you, mate.
Right. We've got another segment, bro.
Okay.
Yeah? And guys, do not be upset. Do not be offended, okay? It's just a game. Right. I've got a list of artists, UK and abroad, all right? Only rule to this game, Sweet Stix. Yeah, is you have to pick a UK drummer. Yeah?
For the artist.
Yeah.
Oh, I love this. This is going to be great.
So normally season 1 we done 5.
Sick. Yeah.
This is season 2. We're going to do 6. All right?
Okay.
So I don't know who's going to be picked. Yeah, I've got a generator.
Yeah.
And I don't know who's going to be picked, but it has to be UK only. UK drummer only.
Okay.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
All right? So, what UK drummer would you get for Earth, Wind and Fire? UK drummer.
Earth, Wind and Fire. It has to be Josh McKenzie. Has to be. Easy. Light work.
All right, yeah.
Light work.
That makes sense.
Here's Josh. Easy.
Easy. All right, Tom Jones.
Ooh. Tom Jones.
UK drummer.
UK drummer for Tom Jones.
Oh, he's from the UK as well.
Yeah.
But if you want to keep the drummer on there, if there's an artist who I pick and the drummer's from the UK and you want to keep them on there.
I met the drummer the other day. He's FD.
Why?
I think he plays with Mike and the Mechanics. Who would I want on Tom Jones? Ooh, this is a tough one. This is hard. Can we do another artist? Or should we just?
No,
I know the MD. Allow me. Allow me. I don't just allow me. This is a drum podcast. Allow me. Yeah.
All right, Chronics.
Chronics.
What UK drummer would you get for Chronics?
Oh, it's the young guy. It's Calvin.
That is a very good choice.
It's Calvin.
Yeah.
I love the way how he blends that kind of bashment energy to new school cleanliness and clinicalness. It's Calvin. Calvin.
All right. CC Winans.
Ooh, he's different. You need a.
but now you can pick what version of CC Winans. Are we going old school CC Winans or are we going like the new school CC Winans? It's up to you.
No, I'm the tunes. Sorry, okay. I really go in my own head.
Yeah, you know. Up to you. New school CC Winans or old school CC Winans, up to you.
I'm gonna choose Jerry Brown.
That makes sense.
I'm gonna choose Jerry Brown.
What version? Well, actually, you can do both, innit?
Nah, yeah, I'm doing it. Yeah, it's Jerry Brown.
All right. Oh, got 3 more. Yeah.
Yeah.
Snarky Puppy. What UK drummer would you get for Snarky Puppy?
Dexter Hercules.
That makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
That makes that was easy. You're gonna be like, oh, this is a hard one, you know.
Dexter Hercules, or I think Locks would sound really good. I like Locks.
Yes.
I like the way he plays.
He would be.
He's forming new ideas, and I feel like he you know, I can see that he's taking from people that came before him in the right way.
Yeah.
And I think, or in the way that I like, you know, I think it's healthy to do that, you know, and then it just, you pass things down. I think Locks is the one, yeah, that's like pushing ideas
Yeah.
further.
100%.
I think so.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Two more. All right. Again, this is random. Michael McDonald.
Ooh. Oh, okay. Forgetting.
Yeah, you know who he is.
Of course. Samson Jatto. Yeah. Samson, man. Samson doesn't move. He's happy to be a brick. I would choose Samson or Isaac. Yeah. Samson or Isaac. I feel like well, my perception of them is in that space, and I like the way how they approach that kind of thing. I think you need just like be happy to just be happy.
Yeah.
And I feel like they're happy just doing that. Not that they can't do anything else or the other stuff, but I like the way how they do that.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. We've got one more. Toto. What UK drummer playing for Toto?
Do you know what? A lot of people might not know this drummer, but there's a drummer called Dowie Young, right? And I know he works a lot now with like a French artist or Italian. He's like, but he used to be in a band years ago called Palladium. But he's just really good at that kind of. He's got that 80s power thing going on. Dowie Young, I think, would be the guy for Toto.
Dowie Young, I haven't heard of him.
Yeah, his name's Dowie Young. But he used to go under the name Rocky. If I'm Rocky Morris, if I remember. I'm pretty sure it was Rocky. Yeah.
Called the name. Yeah.
Yeah, he used to be a part of this band called Palladium, and they had a song called High Five. Bass player was a guy called Pete Cochrane, who played with Amy Winehouse and stuff. And he was another one that kind of helped me navigate when I was really young as a teenager, just like make sure you get paid from when you work in that club. And it was actually, you know, this is just all pre-social media, you know, all like before that. So yeah, I would say Dowie. This conversation is making me go back into layers, you know. I'm like,
it's a lot.
There's a lot.
Making you think, you know what I mean?
Definitely.
One of the things I wanted to do on this season is give a shout out to just one drummer that people may not have heard of, or you feel, man, they need to get enough some credit, you know what I mean? And I think you've mentioned, what's his name?
Dowie Young.
Dowie Young. I've never heard of him.
Yeah.
Is that guy you want to kind of put forward to be like?
That I think needs to get more credit.
Yeah.
I think Dowie's got enough. I know he doesn't have enough credit, but I think he's had credit. Like, he's cool.
Yeah.
If there was one drummer that I think needs to have more credit,
or you feel just needs some love.
Needs some love.
People should check out.
Ooh, it's different. Okay, because I would rather say drummers that I'm checking out right now. But I'll say that. I'll think a drummer.
You give a shout out to someone you thought, man, like they're dope, but
I don't want to give her any name. That's the thing, because I really care about these things. Do you know who's actually a really, really good drummer? I think probably doesn't get enough credit. Is it the female drummer? Black girl with the glasses. My brain.
Cool, the class.
Is it? No, it's not Charlene. It's
Naomi.
Not Naomi.
Sister.
My brain is completely gone.
You
know who I'm talking about. She's a busy young girl, but she's got. She plays with.
Is she a Jordan? Clinton Jordan's niece.
Maybe. Who's that?
Oh, I forgot her name. But she's...
Her name is just not there. It's so annoying.
She's got a lot of followers.
Yeah, she's got a decent amount of followers. But I just think, like, she needs more... I think she needs more love. I can't say her name. It's so annoying. Sorry.
Put in the comments if you know who we're talking about.
Sorry.
Put in the
Oh my gosh. And the thing is, I know her, and she's just gonna be like, Anthony, how can you forget my name?
It happened. I think it's a musician thing, you know.
Definitely for
We'll
me.
be having a whole blank conversation. Like, what's her name again?
Definitely for me. Definitely for me.
Definitely for me as well, man. So what's next for you, man? What's next for you?
What's next for me? I'm going to Netherlands on Saturday to play with Fraser T. Smith in Future Utopia. It's going to be an amazing gig. It's going to be a wicked show. It's like more like electronic, even though I'm not playing any electronics, which is really nice.
Playing electronic, but it's electronic.
I'm playing. It's almost like a more raw. It's like a little bit more pendulum-y. It's got a bit of like Krungbin, kind of a bit more left of center kind of vibes. A bit like a Massive Attack kind of swag, that kind of thing. I'm really just kind of building my creative agency with my partner. Our creative agency, Soft Milk.
Yeah. Man, Anthony, thank you so much for being on here and taking time out of your busy schedule, man. Like, it's been amazing. So please, guys, where can people find you, man? Where can people find you?
You can find me at Sweet Stix on Instagram. I'm trying to get a bit more better with the content. I think next year is definitely the time. There's some stuff lined up for next year that I can't really talk about yet, but when that comes through, there will definitely be more content there. At Sweet Stix, literally Stix, STIX, all social platforms, and Soft Milk London at Soft Milk London. Yeah.
Sorry, I got one more question before I wrap up.
Yeah,
because I know someone's gonna ask.
Yeah.
Who gave you the name Sweet Stix? Where did that come from?
Oh, this is a good question.
Yeah.
Do you know who actually gave me it used to be, they probably won't even remember, but I used to be in a band called Expressed. It's like a hip hop kind of thing with like foreign exchangey, that kind of Nicolay sound, like soulful, with Michael Kiwanuka.
Oh, okay.
And we used to go to also the same school. And he probably won't even realize this. Remember, he was actually the one that would be like, "Oh, Sweet Stix." He won't even remember that. But yeah, it was actually him.
You know what? I thought you got it from Desmond's. I used to watch a show called Desmond. Yeah, called Sweet Stix. I was like,
you remember that?
I think you got it from Desmond's.
Nah, it definitely wasn't. It weren't Desmond's. But the fact that you know Desmond's, can I tell you something that's actually even more weird?
Go on.
All right. So do you remember the guy, the son, that was into music?
Yeah.
In Desmond's, right?
Yeah.
He actually was also teaching in City College, not City College in London, City and Islington College. And he actually taught my older brother how to play drums.
That is crazy.
And a lot of that eclecticism that you're talking about, he would actually give CDs, like Sony Walkman vibes. He would give the CD and the mini discs to my brother, and he'd bring them home. And I was younger, and I was listening to all this kind of broken beat stuff, jazz, that kind of like just left music. And it actually came from the son in Desmond's. Wild stuff. Yeah.
It's crazy, man. Again, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me, man.
Guys, if you haven't liked or subscribed, please like, share, and subscribe. Till the next episode, peace.